with another solo video, but this time it's because one of my favorite decks of all time actually got support, being, drumroll please, Cyberdark. I love this deck. I don't know why. I have a really weird love for this. I'm sorry that this video might be a little bit longer, by the way, because not a lot of people know what this deck does or what these cards do in general besides the Cyber Dragon stuff. So I do want to go into a little bit more detail about what the cards do with each other and what, like, my theory behind what it. Anything in the side deck right now isn't actually side deck stuff. It's more of, I've thought about this and I want to talk about my thoughts about these cards type of thing. For in this case, this one, it's talking about the entire engine, but this is the first one that really came to my mind. If you want a short explanation, this is a going second deck. You just want to get to this to try to OTK your opponent using this guy. Everything in the deck is just catered towards it, and that's really it. But this is also Cybernetic Horizon, or Cyberdark Horizon, which I would just want to call it. But right now, as recording, this is the only simulator that has it. Has this stuff, and they don't have this card's artwork, and I really hope that you guys get to see this card's artwork because I love it. But anyway, I will actually get into the deck profile now, and I'm going to actually go into depth with my thought process and why I think this is one of the really better ways of playing Cyberdark. So first, we have Cyberdark Chimera. He is the new he is the new main deck monster of the deck. He's a level 4 machine, which matters a lot because of previous support. But anyway, you can discard one spell trap, add Power Bond from your deck to your hand. Also, Also, you cannot use monsters as fusion material for the rest of the turn except dragon or machine cyber monsters. So you're locked into cybers pretty much for fusion summoning. And then, sorry, I'm having brain farts. And once, if you fusion summon this turn, you can also use monsters in your graveyard as fusion material by banishing them. So he's a miracle fusion as well, which is really, really nice. Also, if this card is sent to the graveyard at all, because if effects are nice, unlike anything, which are all win effects, looking at you guys. But if you send to the graveyard, you send a Cyberdark from your deck to the graveyard with a different name than the ones in there. So, Horn Edge Keel, that leads to these guys. You're kind of dumping them into the graveyard any way you can. You don't necessarily need to, but it can help out push out more damage depending on game state and stuff. So, but if you want to know what they do, they all have the same effect on the normal summon. You target a level 3 or lower dragon monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card. And this gain, and then they gain the original attack equal to that monster's attack. They gain the original attack. And the only level 3 or lowers I'm playing are Claw and Cannon. So they're 1600, they're 800, they become 2400. So they're Red Eyes monsters with effects. Yay! What do these effects do? Horn does piercing, Edge attacks directly for half damage, so 1200, and Keel when he destroys a monster in battle, he does a whole 300 burn damage. That's right, folks, 300 burn. They're really underwhelming. Actually, really bad. But they are the only way to make him without nagging because he can summon to the graveyard and use an impact. But anyway, next we have Cyberdark Cannon and Cyberdark Claw. I'm going to talk about them kind of the same because they both are very similar. Each have a, if this card is sent to the grave while equipped to a monster effect, and they both have a discard effect, and they both have a, if the equipped monster battles effect. The first, Cannon. Cannon, if he's sent from the, if he's sent to the grave while equipped, he draws a card, which is nice. But the main reason is, you can discard this card and add a machine Cyberdark monster from your deck to your hand. So as you can search any of these if you really want to, but he mainly searches Cyberdark Chimera, which is really, really nice because once again, this is the best card in the deck. And then while he's equipped to a monster, and if the equipped monster battles, he's a Foolish Burial, which isn't bad at all. I mean, you can send any of these guys. If you really wanted to play Cyberdark Cyber Dragons right now, you would use this and hers to add stuff back, but I once again don't think playing it as a combined deck is worth it until this stuff actually comes out. But then again, I don't think playing this deck right now in the TCG is worth it. Next we have Cyberdark Claw. If his effect from the equipped zone is sent to the graveyard, he adds a Cyberdark monster from graveyard to hand, which is really nice because it's recursion. He had himself, he can have Cannon, he can have these dudes, he can have chimera, you can add the fusion monsters to recover, so it's not bad. But the main reason why I play him as well is his discard effect. You can discard this card and add any Cyberdark spell trap. As of right now, we don't have any trap cards, but we do have 3 spell cards, being Horizon, because it's always treated as a Cyberdark card, Cyberdark Impact, and Cyberdark Inferno. Consistency card. And the equipped monster battles, he's a Foolish Barrel for the extra deck, so he sends any of these, which isn't bad. It actually is pretty good, because you can send things like Omega for right now, or mainly Etis and stuff. But next, we get into what I call the Cyber Dragon engine. This being 3 core, 3 Natasha. Yes, I know it's called Nashir, but I call it Natasha, so I'll be calling it that. 3 emergency, and that's pretty much, and 1 the Cyberload fusion. So I'm going to actually put this here. So the reason why I chose this is because after I read Horizon's conditions, which I'll get to in a little bit, I was like, alright, I need to play good Cyber Dragon monsters. But if we look at the Cyber Dragon monsters, like, what are our options? Like, sure, like, it's Send, so I can send Cyber Dragon, or Dre. But the main thing I wanted to do was have the thing I sent do something. So I was stuck between hers and core. And I'm going second deck, so either way, core will banish itself to summon Cyber Dragon, or hers will just search Cyber Dragon from deck, or add 1 from grave. I was first leaning towards her because it lets me do recovery plays a lot easier. But since I'm locked into machines because of Nashir's effect, I won't be making Link Rebo often. And if I normal summon this and link it off to search Cyber Dragon, that's my normal summon. And now I search a Cyber Dragon that's not doing anything for me because I'm not playing pure Cyber Dragon. So here, I was like, okay, what do I do then? But then I remembered, this dude has 2100 defense. So why does that matter? That matters because Cyber Dragon Natasha has the effect where it becomes Cyber Dragon while it's on field or graveyard. You can discard 1 other monster, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 machine monster with 2100 attack or defense in your graveyard and special summon it. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except machine monsters, which is fine. We're never special summoning dragons really anyway. I don't think we actually play any dragons that we want to special summon. So what you can do is you can go Nashir, discard Chimera, summon Nashir, Natasha, affected Natasha, target as Chainlink 2. So Chainlink 1 Chimera, Chainlink 2 Natasha. Natasha bring back Chimera, and then Chimera send any Cyberdark monster you want to get to graveyard, usually one of these guys. And then you can use this field effect. And now you have 2 monsters on board to use as link play or something, which isn't too bad in my opinion. If you used Horizon as the first thing, you can then have banish core from the graveyard to special summon Cyber Dragon from your deck if your opponent controls a monster, which we're going second, so most of the time they will control a monster. So what led me to playing core as well over hers is because if this card's normal summon, you had a Cyber Spell or Trap. So if we actually look at some of the Cyber Spell traps, sure, we have Impact, we have Inferno, because they're a Cyber by name, we have Cybernetic Horizon, which is Cyber by name as well as Cyber, and it's always just Cyberdark. But that means we can now also play Cyberload Fusion, which gives us more damage, but also Cyber Emergency. Cyber Emergency adds a light machine that cannot be normal summoned on a set, or a Cyber Dragon monster. So it's now another way to search Natasha. And Natasha, once again, brings back Chimera, and Chimera is the most important card of the deck. So it's more consistency, that's it. And the last card for the engine is Cyberload Fusion. You fuse summon a fusion monster from your extra deck that lists Cyber Dragon as material by shuffling the fusion materials listed to it from the deck. And then, so it recycles them from the banish to the deck or field to the deck. But you make a monster, that's the only thing you can attack for the rest of the turn. But the thing is, it's a quick play spell, so you do it in the battle phase after everything else has attacked to try to push out more damage, which isn't hard at all. But the main problem is like, how are we banishing Cyber Dragons? Because like, you're not playing like the trap card that banishes them. You're not playing Overload Fusion or Network, I guess, is a card. Network's really bad. Don't play Network. But the main thing is, this is the main one to go for. It takes Cyber Dragon monster and 2 machine monsters. I'll go into it in a little bit once we get there. But that's the engine I went for. Being 1 Cyber Dragon, 3 core, 3 Natasha, 3 emergency, and a load fusion. Next, we have Cybernetic Horizon. As I said before, I really wish you guys could see this artwork. But I'll explain the effect as well, because I think, besides Chimera, this is definitely one of the best cards in this deck. So this card is always treated as a Cyberdark card. So it's searchable by core, because he searches a Cyber Spell Trap, and he searches, it's searchable by Claw, because it's always treated as a Cyberdark card. Send 2 dragon and or machine cyber monsters with different attributes to the graveyard. So that's where I had to play the Cyber Dragon engine because I have to send different attributes. And since all these dudes are dark, I now have to send another attribute. And of course, the other attribute is light. So I was like, alright, I can send core, but one has to be from hand, one has to be from deck. So I send core and chimera. I then get a send, and I get a summon Cyber Dragon, which is cool. And I had a resolution. What does it do? Alright. Add 1 dragon or machine cyber monster from your deck to your hand. If you do, send 1 machine cyber fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. And you cannot specify this turn except machines, but it doesn't matter. But the thing is, this card adds anything, any monster in the deck. So it's a massive consistency boost. And it gets stuff in the graveyard, which is really nice. So let's go over some ratio stuff real quick. So the Chimera is the most important card of the deck. So how many ways do we have to it? We have 3, 6, 9, alright, plus 3 more, so 12, because Claw searches any Cyberdark spell trap, and 15, because he can search any cyber spell trap, so, and this is a cybernetic horizon. So I have 15 ways to Chimera. I also have, how many ways to Natasha? We have 3, because the search is emergency, 6, because hard opening it, 9, because emergency searches it, and 12, because Horizon can also search it if I really need to. So we have 12 ways and 15 ways to this, which those are probably the more important cards of the deck in my opinion. Him being the most important and this being secondary. So more ways to combo, more ways to this. And that's what I really liked, is because now this deck is more consistent. It can do more things. It's not, you don't open Claw Cannon, you lose. And that's how I went into how I thought about building this deck for you guys. I mean, I hope you guys like it. I love this deck. Next, we have 1 Cyberdark Impact. You fusion summon 1 Cyberdark Dragon, sadly has to be the original, from your extra deck by shuffling 1 of each Cyberdark Horn, Edge, and Keel from your hand, field, or graveyard into the deck as food material. You send these guys to the graveyard, use Impact, shuffle them back, you make a fusion. Pretty simple. Next, we have Extra Foolish Burial. So the reason why I was thinking this is because, like, there's a lot of these guys I want to get to the graveyard. Well, at least wouldn't mind being in the graveyard. So I was like, this is another copy of a card that gets stuff to the graveyard. So this is fine. I like this. And you can't set for us a turn, but I'm trying to OTK my opponent, so I do not care if I cannot get my stuff, like, if I can't set, because I don't plan to. Next, we have 1 copy of Foolish Burial. It sends Chimera. It's actually another way to him, because then if I get Natasha, I can summon it, bring back Chimera. And then if Chimera is sent to grave again, you send any of these. So it's really nice. Next, we have Pot of Prosperity. Very nice card on the deck. First, I was like, Pot of Extravagance is better, because Extravagance draws 2. But then I was like, thinking, well, now I have to play, like, my extra deck really wonky, because I have to play a lot of 3-ofs. But then if I play Prosperity, I can choose the card I want instead. So that means if I need access to, like, Chimera, but I use Prosperity, I have a higher chance of getting 2 Chimera. Instead of just drawing 2 random cards, like I can draw 2 of these, like these guys. So Prosperity is a lot better because of extra deck space and because of what it does. But if you're playing more of a control deck, I do think Extravagance is better, like if you're playing Guru or if you're playing Geist. Next, we have 1 copy of Powerbomb. It's poly, but it doubles the attack of the monster, and then we take burn at the end phase equal to the attack. Not the original attack, but the attack gained. So the main point of this is searchable by this dude, and you use Powerbomb to banish stuff from grave to make this dude really big, and then you poke for 10k. That's the main idea with this card. Very simple. Next, we have Forbidden Droplets. I know, expensive card. I would say Dark Ruler is better, but it's really not, just because you can't do damage with Dark Ruler. But this, it fills up the graveyard because you summon cards from the graveyard, so it fills up your graveyard with any of these things. And then it halves their attacks, it negates their effects. Hard to say no to this card when you're playing an OTK deck, that's all. Last card we have is in the main deck is Cyberdark Inferno. This is their field spell. Cyberdark effect monsters you control that are equipped with an equipped card cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects, which is really nice because it makes these dudes unaffected, and it makes this dude unaffected, and also this dude unaffected. And this guy's already unaffected by his effect. But one of the better things of it is you can target 1 Cyberdark monster you control, return to the hand, and immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon 1 Cyberdark monster Um, so something that's cool is if you open like this like a Cyberdark, a Chimera, like Claw, Cannon, like anything, pretty much just like access to one like this and this in hand, and like one of these engraved. You go normal summon this, discard a spell, search Power Bond, activate Inferno, bounce this back to hand, summon a Cyberdark, and then when the Cyberdark's normal summon, they equip one of these. So then it gets you a body on board as well, other than just leaving a 800 attack Poopy Boy on board. So that was that. And if it's destroyed, it adds a fusions by name spell, so it adds Cyberload Fusion. You can play things like Overload Fusion, but it has to be destroyed by opponent's card effect, so it's not a reliable search option. Next, we go to the extra deck. First, we'll start off with the new boy, Cyberdark End Dragon. So for his materials, he takes Cyberdark Dragon and Cyber End Dragon. Wowzy, those are massive requirements. Alright, what about his grave effect? I mean, not his grave effect, what about his other condition? So must first be either fusion summon or special summon by attributing one level 10 or lower Cyberdark fusion monster equipped with Cyber End Dragon. So if we look at this, it's like, first we think, that's definitely a lot easier. But if we actually look at it, it's not. So it has to be equipped with Cyber End Dragon, as it says. So we go with like a Cyber End Dragon real quick. He is a machine monster. Alright, what about our other two Cyberdark monsters? So this is the easiest to make, in my opinion, of course. Must be fusion summon. So if this card is special summon, target a dragon monster in your graveyard. What? But this is a machine. You can't equip it. So unless you played the trap, like DNA Surgery or something, I don't remember what it's called, but it like changes. Oh wait, no, that was never printed. That was an anime only card. Ha, never mind. But that Cyber Dark Dragon can equip this. So that means we have to make Cyber Darkness Dragon, because this card is special summon. You equip a dragon or machine monster. So, but he also gains the monster's attack. So this is 6,000 attack equipped with Cyber End Dragon. So that means you're attributing Cyber Darkness Dragon, who's at 6,000 attack and a negate for this dude. Yeah, no, you're not doing that. You're sending Cyber End Dragon and Cyber Dark Dragon to the graveyard, and you're using Power Bond to banish them both to make this dude. And then he'll be at 10,000 attack and unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, which is really, really good. For a 10k monster, you're trying to OTK, of course. Then once per turn, you can equip one monster from either graveyard to this card, and then this card can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of equipped cards to this card. So he just attacks. That's it. What a great boss monster. Not like Cyberdark's already had a bunch of big numbers, but now we actually have a big number that can actually potentially help us OTK. I do kind of wish that he was Cyber Dark Dragon, like this card's like treated as Cyber Dark Dragon in the extra deck or something, because then we can use Impact. That's like secretly what I've always wanted, is I've always wanted like Impact to make more fusion other than him, but hey, that's just me. Next in the extra deck, we have 5-headed dragon. In some scenarios, you just send this from the graveyard, extra to the graveyard, and you equip it with Darkness Dragon or Dark Dragon to make him big. You never actually summon it. I don't know why this keeps getting over here. I'm going to put this over here and talk about him there. Next, we have Cyber End Dragon. You're never making this, you're just sending it to the graveyard, just like 5-headed, and you're banishing it for this summon of this dude. That is it. Next is actually a fusion monster that we make often with Cyber Load Fusion. Excuse me. The reason why is because if we think about the basics like of where we want to get to like the deck and stuff, is we want to have get to Cyber Dark Dragon made with Power Bond. So that means we're banishing Cyber End Dragon, who's a machine, and Cyber Dark Dragon, who's a machine. And usually, if we resolve Horizon first, we have a core banished, a Cyber Dragon monster. So what's his requirements? 1 Cyber Dragon monster plus 2 machine monsters. And wow, Load Fusion shuffles them back into the extra deck? Wow, that's really nice. Alright, what else does he do? If a machine fusion monster is in your graveyard, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, also cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. That's okay, it's not too bad. If this fusion summon card you control is sent to the grave by the opponent's card effect, or by opponent's card, so it's battle or card effect, summon 1 Cyber Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It floats. It's neat. It's not like, wow, this is really good, but like it's not too bad. It's better that he has it than he doesn't have it. And then you could. One of the things I also like him, and that's why I'm playing 2. You can banish this card from your graveyard this turn. Your opponent cannot target fusion monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. The reason why I'm playing 2 is because you're not always going to be able to make this. Because like, sometimes like hands get like iffy or something. But what you can do is with Horizon, you send any Cyber Fusion monster. So you can send this to the graveyard, banish this from the graveyard preemptively, and then be like, all right, now I make Cyberdark Dragon. And now on summon, oh, you can't really do much to him on summon. And then you equip a card. And then when you activate Inferno, Inferno will now give him protection. So now you have a big unaffected monster on board that's sticking on board for a little bit, which is really nice. But he's also a 2800 easily made by Cyberlord Fusion to attempt to push for more damage. I'm going to put this guy over here, I'll talk about that with them. Next we have Overdrive Dragon. This is just for the rare scenarios where you have... You're never going to make him unless you can make him bigger than 2800, but if those scenarios pop up, you just make him to push for more damage. You also have to shuffle a Cyber Dragon from field to the graveyard, which sucks, but that's why we play Seeger. Next we have Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon and Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. You use the Cyber Dragon and machines for this one, and you use your opponent's extra monster zone. So the main point is you use core, banish core, summon Cyber Dragon, and then you make either of these. Most likely Chimera Tech Mega Fleet, because that's one extra monster you don't have to deal with, but it also gives you 2400 more damage on board. But this is an option for those small scenarios where you will need this, like if you're against ABC or something. Next, we have Cyberdark Dragon. I actually have two copies in here, one to send, one to make. Same with Entity Dragon. So, this card's really old, but don't know what he does. He takes Horn, Edge, and Keel. Impact makes him very easily. Must be Fusion Summon. If this card's Special Summon, you target a Dragon monster graveyard and equip it, and he gains that attack. So you want to equip 5-headed Dragon because he becomes 6000. But he also gains 100 attack for each monster in the graveyard, so he just becomes big number. And with Inferno, it's big number that's unaffected. Probably the better one, though, is Cyberdark Nest Dragon, which sucks that he's not makeable by impact, but he takes 5 Cyberdark effect monsters, which that's honestly a lot to ask for, especially back then, because this deck struggled to get them in the graveyard. But the Chimera Tech Chimera makes it a lot easier, because it's an actual foolish, and that's 2 Cyberdarks already, and yeah. So this one is must be fusion summoned, must first be, which is nice because you can actually reborn this guy, unlike Cyberdark Dragon. And if this card's special summon, you can equip 1 dragon or machine monster from your graveyard to this card, and he gains the attack equal to the original attack of that monster. The same as every other Cyberdark besides the new fusion monster and Chimera. So, alright, what else do you get? So, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, send 1 equipped card you control to the graveyard, negate the activation if you destroy it. So that's not once per turn either. So it's a non-once per turn Omni Negate, and you don't even have to send cards equipped to him, it's just you control. So if you have Horn, Edge, or Keel equipped with Claw or Cannon, you can send those to the graveyard. And that will trigger their sent to grave effects, so Cannon will draw a card and Claw will add back. And then next turn you can use Inferno to bounce them and resummon them to equip the card again, so you can keep that going. So, good boss monster for the deck, just a little annoying to make, honestly. Feels like Cyberdark and Dragon, easier to make sometimes. Next we have 1 copy of Elder Entity Entis. Same reason why Dogma plays it. If it's sent to the graveyard, target current field, destroy it. You can send it with extra foolish burial if you can make End Dragon easily. You can send it off a Claw if a Cyberdark equipped with it attacks. About it. Next we have Barricade Board Blocker. The only reason why I'm playing him is because we had to play Machine Link monsters just to get some stuff in the graveyard. Also, they're not too bad. But if this card just links somebody, you can discard a card. That's all that matters. But at least this deck does play a field spell, so at the end of the turn you can add back Inferno if it got destroyed or something. So you don't really get punished for it being popped, because Inferno will search, and then you'll get the Inferno back. And that's about it. He fills up the graveyard with Cyberdarks, and then he has potential to add back Inferno. Next, we have Cyber Dragon the Seeger. So this is how you'll be shuffling Cyber Dragons from the field, because it takes 2 machines, including a Cyber Dragon, which isn't hard at all, and its effect's okay, I guess. Becomes Cyber Dragon will fill the graveyard. During each battle phase, if this card is not attacked, you can target a machine, you control 2100 attack or more. The rest of the turn, that monster gains 2100 attack and defense, but neither player takes damage. But once again, the main reason I play him is because he's a Cyber Dragon by name, so if you don't have core banished, or you want to be able to make like this dude, you can shuffle him from the field to the extra deck instead with Overload Fusion to make this dude become bigger. Last card for the extra deck is Cleatfort Genius. The reason why I'm playing this is because of pretty much his first effect. So this links him to cards unaffected by spell traps and the activated effects of other linked monsters, which is nice. That's not bad at all. Once per turn, you can target one face-up card on each player's field except this card, and both have their effects negated until the end of this turn. That's why we're playing it, because you can make this card very easily because of Natasha, and then you can negate. If you have like anything else on board, like you can negate like a Cyberdragon effect, you can negate a core effect, you can negate a chimera effect after he's already activated its effect. It just you even negate Inferno if you really need to. But the thing is, it turns off another one of your opponent's monsters, and that means one less thing to worry about in the battle phase. And the last things I wanted to talk about are stuff in the side deck. These are not cards that I'm actually like, hey, side deck these. These are more cards I want to just briefly mention real quick. First is Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. It recently came off the ban list, and now the deck can actually go first, but because it's, if you don't know, for some reason, if it's equipped to a monster, your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck. And the fact that it's a level 1 dragon means these little dudes can equip it when they're normal summoned. But the problem is, we lack a way of getting into graveyard. I've already had some people ask me this, but Cybernetic Horizon cannot send the Dragon Buster Sword because it's 2 dragon and or machine cyber monsters. So they have to both be cyber by name, and Dragon Buster Destruction Sword is not a cyber monster. It's a Destruction Sword monster. So you cannot send this, but if you can find other ways to get this card to the graveyard, like if you can make it curious or something, then yeah, that's a reliable going first play. But also, like I said, I believe this is better going second deck than going first deck, so why would you want to play this? Next, we have Platinum Gadget. The main reason why I'm talking about this is because during your main phase, best summon level 4 or lower machine monster from your hand to zone this card points to. So the main reason is another way to special summon Chimera from your hand, but usually if you if you have Chimera in hand and you can make Platinum Gadget, I guarantee you more than likely were able to summon Chimera instead. Because like if you open Chimera, Cyberdragon, Natasha, you do Natasha, discard Dragon, summon Natasha, bring back Dragon, make Platinum Gadget, summon Chimera. Why don't you just summon Cyberdragon, discard Chimera, summon Natasha to bring back Chimera? Because now you have a Cyberdragon on board as well instead of a Platinum Gadget, which is a lot better. So that's why I'm not playing it. Also, I'm not playing any gadgets. Sure, you can go like Gold, Silver Gadget, summon Chimera, then search and then make like a rank 4 or something, but there's not a lot of amazing ones out there in my opinion. But it is an option if you really want to play a gadget engine. Try it. But once again, I just don't think it's good, especially going second. If a gadget gets negated, that's that. And the last one, this isn't just Maximus alone, it's the entire Dogma engine. Maximus was just the first one that came to mind because he sends 2, so I was like, wow, I can use Horizon to send this to the graveyard. I could banish it to send like both materials, but I don't know why I keep forgetting this, because I love like the idea of sending monsters from your extra deck to graveyard, but all of the good Dogma cards that do that all say also you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, which makes me really, really upset, because I would have loved to play Dogma Cyberdark to send the stuff to the graveyard, but the fact I can't use the extra deck means like these dudes are all off. Sure, if you want to play a smaller, like a slower, more control build, you can do that and then make this like the next turn, but it means you have to do something going like first and not get OTK going second, and that's what was the problem. But anyway, that is all for this deck profile and this little discussion video thing. If you have had any questions, let me know in the comments. If you'd like to see anything, I personally love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love seeing like all these fun decks, or just anything. Like, hey man, even if you just want to talk, just talk. For that, goodbye.